what we're going to look at here is just our normal plugin within Jira. So what we've added is with our plugin is this dynamic access to artifacts and remote tools. So in this case, Doors Next. Although we'll show it with Polarian as well later on. We can see a rich preview of the artifact and be able to see the status of that information. That's what these link decorators are. These are actually dynamic. You'll see that whenever I load this page, it's going to pull dynamically that information, that link, that status information, so I can be able to see at a glance which requirements are approved, which ones might be in process, and really be able to make sure that people follow the rules that we intend. Now in previous releases, these are just visual indicators, so I can move in progress, I can move into done, I can make these state transitions whenever I really want to within Jira. But we know from Jira we want to institute some workflow, some process, so let's go ahead and do it. We've introduced a validator in here. It's pretty easy to be able to leverage. It's just naturally within your Jira workflow. You can come in and edit a workflow. I have probably one of the world's simplest workflows here, but let's just go ahead and say that we want to control what happens in transitioning into in progress. So let's go ahead and look about validators here. Let's add a new validator. In this case, our OSLC property match validator is what we're going to use. It's just a simple inclusion that's in the latest release. It allows me to be able to take a look at all these different OSLC link relationships. In this case, I'm going to use my implements link relationship. I can be able to pick a OSLC property. I'm using status right now just to be simple, and I can pick a value. So this is going to be customized to your environment. It could be one value, it could be many values, and I can make some mandates on whether or not it's all links or one link or none of the links. And we have some textual description of what we're trying to do. Basically here we're trying to say that all your requirements need to be approved before we make our transition. And that's all it is to it, to that validator. It takes care to be able to make sure that we're authenticated, we're retrieving data, and doing the action based on this. So let's just go ahead and publish this workflow, and then we can actually see it dynamically take effect. So that workflow is now active. So now when I go into my story now, or anybody on my team goes into the story, if they try to move in progress, it's going to dynamically pull that information. And it's assessed that, wait a minute here, we're not all approved. We actually have requirement 98 here, which is actually in process. And so makes sense. We don't want to be able to make that transition. We restrict that transition. We give users that warning. The nice thing is if I actually navigate over to that requirement over here, so this is requirement 98, I can go ahead and edit this artifact. I'm going to say that this thing is actually now approved now. And then the nice thing is how dynamic this is, because now that I've approved it here in Doors Next, if I want to make this transition again to in progress, it's going to dynamically pull the information, see it's approved. The decorator now shows it's approved, and it allows that transition. So really simple concept, but really very powerful to be able to take advantage with your teams, help them along on instituting the process that you want to have happen. Now the nice thing with OSLC, this isn't just one tool. This means I can use this with Quality Manager, Engineering Test Manager, EWM, but also with other OSLC tools like Polarian. So in this case I have a very similar process flow here in a different project. I have my Polarian requirements here, and I can go ahead and be able to, it looks like I need to authenticate into that requirement. Hold on a second, let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to be able to see my rich previews back over here and be able to see those dynamic artifacts. Now, when I go ahead and try to go to in progress right now, what you're going to see is the same type of behavior. I'm going to block that status and prevent myself from being able to do a transition because all those requirements in the draft state. It's really what I want to have happen. So it gives you a flavor of things. It allows you to be able to have a view in terms of what happens and how we use it. Encourage you to go try it out in your existing systems when you update to 2.8, as well as if you're interested in this, just reach out to our team at sodiuswillard.com. We're happy to get you started with a trial with your own OSLC Connect for Jira. Thanks everybody for taking the time. and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.